Welcome back to my channel. You already know it's your boy Hood Diggity, the Rock Reactor, back with another video. Yes, sir. Before I proceed, let me know where you tapping in from. Let me know what country, what city, what mountain, what hill, what cave, what island, what planet, what universe. Let me know where you at. Represent your hood. Yes, sir. Let me throw the heart up. The heart up. The heart up for Ukraine, a world of love for my Ukraine, a plethora of peace to my Ukraine. As I stand with God, I stand with Ukraine. Yes, sir. Now, as we all know, Putin has been testing nuclear missiles, which is a dangerous thing. I know I'm not the only one that is concerned because this guy is not, it's not up there in the head, especially when he's cornered. He seems cornered now, and he's going to continue to attack Ukraine. And I've been saying this for a while, guys. I've been saying it, that he's going to, a desperate man is a dangerous man. So, I mean, and I believe that Trump wants to save Ukraine. Trump wants to stop this war. But it's just that Putin is not giving him no choice. Putin doesn't want it. I think Putin is the only one in this world that doesn't want to stop the war. And I think his own people want to stop the war. It's just that he has them oppressed. But anyway, guys, let's take a look at Trump's response to Putin's alleged nuclear missile tests. Let's take a look at that, guys. And before we do, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the screen. Let's get right to it, guys.
President Trump says he hopes China can help end the Russia-Ukraine war ahead of his meeting with Xi Jinping this week. But Trump also says he is assessing the Russian threat after President Vladimir Putin and his top general claim they successfully tested a nuclear-powered cruise missile.
They're not playing games with us. We're not playing games with them either. We test missiles all the time, and I don't think it's an appropriate thing for Putin to be saying either, by the way. You ought to get the war ended. A war that should have taken 1 week is now in its soon 4th year. That's what you ought to do instead of testing missiles.
Former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman joins us now. Dan, how big is...
First of all, I wanted to say this. I don't think China is going to be able to influence or to talk Putin into stopping the war. I don't see that happening. Even if they force him into stop buying oil from them, even if that, still, I think Putin's going to go all the way with this.
The deal is this, and what impact will it have?
Well, I think it's worth remembering that China and Russia signed their no-limit strategic partnership back in February of 2022. There's really 3 components there. First, an ideological one. Both Putin and Xi are ruthless dictators, and so they see eye to eye on how to run their countries internally and aggressively overseas. There's an economic component because Russia needs to import dual-use military technology from China to keep their army supplied with what they need to carry on their invasion of Ukraine. And Russia exports hydrocarbons to China, which is really important for China's economy. And then there's a strategic component where both Russia and China want to limit the United States' ability to project power overseas. For Russia, obviously, that means in Europe, and for China in the Pacific. I think what President Trump might be doing here is exposing China's support to Russia, using it as leverage. I'm not sure the president expects China to do anything to help solve this conflict, but he's countering China's rationale for an attack on Taiwan, and he's again exposing China's nefarious support to this war. And I think that's a good thing for the trade negotiations.
As you look at the right-hand side of your screen, any moment now we are waiting for President Trump to be greeted by the Emperor of Japan. But I want to go back to the missile that Russia is bragging about. Do you believe the hype coming out of the Kremlin about this nuclear-powered missile? And if so, should we be concerned here in the U.S., not just for the warhead, part of it, Dan, which obviously would cause a nuclear catastrophe, but also the fact that it is nuclear powered. And oftentimes, you know, mistakes happen, problems happen, and there could be ultimately fallout, no pun intended.
Yeah, I think that absolutely we have to be concerned. I expect that the U.S. intelligence community is seeking to collect as much intelligence on this new threat as we can, and on our defense circles as well. Look, absolutely, this is of concern to us. It's a Russian effort to demonstrate their power, to extort us and our European allies. And so absolutely, it's a real intelligence requirement for us. I can tell you, going back to my days at CIA, collecting on Soviet and then later Russian military capabilities was of the highest priority.
All right, Dan, we just saw the emperor, the Japanese emperor, exit the Imperial Palace, and he's waiting to greet President Trump. We see the motorcade pulling up, and President Trump is just about to get out of the vehicle and shake the emperor's hand. What do you think about this moment and President Trump's trip to Japan overall and the significance?
They went into the President Trump greeting Japan's emperor, but I want to continue to talk about this because this is my main concern here. My main concern right now is really Ukraine, because United States, I believe, is safe. And I think it's all the we always think that that Trump has the answer to all the problems, and he doesn't. He doesn't. I think Putin is the one. We got to see how far Putin is willing to take this. And it's a dangerous thing, guys. It is a dangerous thing. I've been saying this all along, that he is going to take this to the end, guys. He's going to be taking this to the end, and it's going to be a dangerous thing. Right now, I think what's holding him back a little bit is Trump. We'll see what happens when Trump has a meeting with China, and we'll see where they take that. But like I said, and like the gentleman here said, I don't think that's going to deter him. I don't think that's going to move him at all.
Of it, in light of the fact that he is going to be meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in just a few days from now.
Yeah, I think it's a really powerful image, and this is a demonstration of presidential power. When the president travels overseas and meets with our most important adversaries like China, as well as our key allies like Japan, it's a powerful demonstration of the power that our country holds in the world. The president is making an extraordinary trip here and hitting on all the key issues, the key national security issues for our nation. Japan is such a critical ally in the Pacific. We've got extraordinarily close economic ties, and we rely on one another to deter China from aggressive action in the region. And so this is a really important image, and important for the president that he's getting out and making another trip. It's a whirlwind tour.
There will be no cameras inside as the president meets the emperor and they discuss whatever they are going to discuss. So we're going to move on to other issues. Specifically, we have this situation which I can't seem to get past, Dan, and I would like your thoughts on it. How tough is it diplomatically to need your number one adversary, in this case, China, to help you end a war involving what arguably is your number two adversary in Russia? How do you square that circle, Dan?
Yeah, I think the president understands that circle isn't going to be squared. But I really believe the president understands that highlighting China's role in supporting the most destructive land war in Europe is of benefit to the United States, because one thing we're trying to do is drive a wedge between Europe and China. Europe relies on China for their trade, and China's been taking advantage of them. I think that by exposing China's role in this war, we can help Europe help remove the scales from the eyes of European leaders and understand that they need a little bit more of a realistic strategy towards China. I think that's important going forward. I'm not sure that anyone believes that China is going to back away from their support for their extremely close ally, Russia, at this time.
Yeah, and because of China, Japan really relies on the United States as a security guarantor, so they are going to be rolling out the red carpet for President Trump and President Trump's meeting with the emperor is part of that five-star treatment. Former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman, we thank you for joining us this morning.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Guys, I'm going to end this with just saying that we all know that Putin needs to be stopped. Putin is not stopped some way, somehow. Danger is coming. This is not good. This is not going to be good. And President Zelensky said this once, and I will never forget. And this is as clear as water. It's not going to end with Ukraine. The war, even if he wins the war, he takes over Ukraine, he takes all of Ukraine's territory, it's not going to end there. All we could do from now is just watch, hope for the best, expect the worst, and most of all, pray. Guys, you already know, man. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the description. Love you, Ukraine. Peace, love, and God bless.